My name is John Baker. I am from Laramie, Wyoming. I'm a sculptor, painter, and illustrator. I am involved in the making of the sculpture The Franchise as a part of the celebration of Wyoming women's history. The opportunity to work with the particular group that was looking to fund the Wyoming Women's History House came about in a roundabout fashion. I was acquainted with a man named Weldon Tuck who had come here from Virginia, and he was looking for a way to make a public display celebrating Wyoming's first women's vote under equality with men. That is, to me, in my mind, a cause worth celebrating. The effort was to primarily gather funds to actually build the house in Laramie at the site of, or close to, the original site of the women's vote in 1870. I felt like I kind of owed it to the people I was trying to portray, to try to get the circumstances of their lives here in Laramie. I did drawings, a series of drawings that illustrated the streets downtown and buildings and what it was actually like to kind of meander around downtown. And I did a lot of portraits, drawing portraits of Louisa Swain. To try to capture what I felt was a proper image for her. So there were other maquettes done, small sculptures, until I felt like I had arrived at a piece that embodied her spirit and the spirit of the momentum of the women's suffrage movement at the time. The most challenging aspect was I had taken a fall and I had blown out my left thumb joint, and that needed to be repaired. So here I was looking at a life-size sculpture cast in bronze, and I had a cast on my left arm. And so that was a logistical difficulty that I had not really counted on. I found that I could carve the foam that I needed to carve with a sharp knife. And so I went to work carving on a huge block of foam, and the end objective was to wind up with a less than 1 inch surface on which I could apply plastilina clay and just have that be my tooling surface. And I had gloves and I could kind of sculpt it around, and once I had the armature completely covered, then I could actually begin articulating features and details of the clothing and things like that. Well, I hope that people, when they visit the Wyoming Women's History House and the grounds, I hope their takeaway can be to celebrate the women's suffrage movement as it existed then, and to be able to evaluate how far women's equality has come in the succeeding years, not only since 1870, but from 1928, when the 14th Amendment was finally ratified. And to get people to think about women's contributions to Wyoming as a state, because women have been very pivotal in the governance of this state, and certainly the quality of life in this state as well. So I hope that they come away with an understanding and appreciation of those things.